Hello everybody, I'm the Chef Boo, and I love gaming history. That's probably not a shock when the last video I made was a demo for a Final Fantasy history rhythm game, but how we got from two rectangles chucking a square at each other to The Last of Us and God of War is amazing to see the development of. I fully love what I've played of The Last of Us and everything that came before it. You know, Uncharted, Fortnite, just kidding, that came out after. But after I thought about it, I realized that today, I don't think a lot of people have played games crucial to the industry. Of course, they were huge back when they came out, but I think nowadays they've kind of just been tossed to the wayside. Of course, most of them were big back then, which is why they were influential, but not a lot of people play them nowadays. So here's 10 games that I think are very crucial to the industry that you should set some time aside to play. Some have aged pretty decently, but other ones haven't. Just a warning, some of them can be pretty clunky, but I would always say to put a few hours into it, which, actually, these are just my first impressions. Just like the first few hours. One other thing, these are out of games that I have played, so there will definitely be some that I forgot about. So mention them in the comments, that'd be really nice to start some discussion. Let's begin. Number 10, Final Fantasy VII. Okay, I'm probably gonna get some flack here, but I really don't think it's one of the most crucial games of all time, but it absolutely deserves a place on this list. It was not a JRPG progenitor, but it also was one of the most popular in America, finally spreading the genre and making it click with everybody. It was the first Final Fantasy to do amazingly in the US, and it was actually the first one in Europe, because Mystic Quest isn't real. It basically put JRPGs on the map outside of Japan. It's an incredibly quality game from what I've played, which was about 10 hours, I want to say. And yes, the visuals do look chunky, and the gameplay has aged a bit, but overall, it's very enjoyable, especially with the ATB bar combat and the story still being loved by millions. Number 9, Resident Evil. While not the first survival horror game ever made, that is arguably Sweet Home on the NES, it was the first to popularize the genre and coin the term survival horror. It focused on a group of police officers who were locked in a mansion after a wolf attack led to a run-in with zombies. I stopped playing there. Apparently the story does get more interesting, but I'm not a huge fan of the game. It's aged really poorly. The tank controls are incredibly clunky alongside the fixed camera angles, and the voice acting is absolutely horrendous, but it's great nonetheless because of the horrificness of it. If you do want to play the original Resident Evil, it is remade, and that is most people's preferred way to play it. It is available on all modern platforms. Number 8, Doom. Okay, this one has to be on here. It's one of the most ported games ever made, it's incredibly simple, and it made the FPS genre truly popular. Even though games like Halo have refined the genre with dual-stick analog controls, I just need to appreciate Doom's pure, uncut violence and catharsis. It also actually aged pretty well, and you can get it for about $5 on anything at this point. Hell, it's on a McDonald's cash register, that is not a joke, look that up. Number 7, Dance Dance Revolution. I fucking love rhythm games. You knew I'd have to put this here. I love DDR. It's a great workout and gave me that horrible love for anime music. Damn you, Trust. It's super simple. Just hit the notes with your feet. But, dear God, the people who play this game competitively, either freestylers who just go all out on tricking, or the perfect attackers who can somehow full combo songs, are amazing to behold. And also the community's one of the best from my experience. Number 6, Dragon Quest. This is just another one I wouldn't feel right not including. It's one of the first RPGs and was super popular in Japan. It's a simple plot. Save the princess. But it's short and oddly relaxing, actually. There's a lot of grinding in this one, and it's definitely clunky because there's only like one save point. But it's a charming game that deserves my respect, and honestly, I wouldn't say it's unplayable nowadays, especially with the modern remake on mobile and Switch. Number 5, Street Fighter 2. A really good fighting game. I'd honestly say one of the first good ones, and I would absolutely recommend you go play it. It introduced characters such as Chun-Li and Guile into the public eye, and redesigned Ryu and Ken into their iconic designs today, as in, Ryu does not wear shoes anymore, nor does he have red hair. It's aged very well, and it's great if you want to get into fighting games. It's not my favorite, but it's iconic. Also, Guile's theme goes with everything. Number 4, The Legend of Zelda. Okay, this game's very much important to the action-adventure genre. One of the first, it was an open world. You can go in any direction to get the Triforce pieces. Fun, right? No, not anymore. It's aged so poorly to the point where you really just need a guide to beat the game. There's a lack of a map, no signals of secrets. There is no shame in a guide. But the game's iconic. It created one of the most loved series. It's important. I needed to put it here. Use a guide. Number 3, Pac-Man. This game put Namco on the map. It's Pac-Man, a cultural icon. He struck a chord with so many people, and gaming shot up in popularity. He's the star of one of the most addicting arcade games I've ever played. Not my favorite, that's Dance Dance Revolution, but still, it's addicting. You put a coin in, and you want to put in another 5 seconds when you die. It made gaming skyrocket in popularity, and the series is still going strong, with Pac-Man World Re-Pac being an amazing remake of the PS1 game to the point where you really only need the remake. And it even includes the original. It's super easy to get your hands on. It's on Nintendo Switch, PC, it's on anything that has buttons, I'm pretty sure. Track it down a copy, give it a shot. You won't be disappointed. Number 2, Pong. It's Pong. Number 1, Super Mario Brothers. I cannot leave this off the list. I know Pong was one of the first games, I know, but this game practically completely changed the game. The pun was not intended, damn it. You had a character that looked like an actual man. You had a defined, unique world. You had a goal, a story, everything was there for a fully made quest. Yeah, the story's bland, like all Mario games, blah blah, just save the princess. And yes, the game has aged with weird physics, but I love this game, and you need to give it a run. You know, you heard the story probably, it revived gaming. It did. Please, give this game a shot. It's on Nintendo Switch, it's on Game Boy Advance. Again, any Nintendo console with buttons has it, except for the Nintendo 64. I want to know why. Please, play it. It's great. So that's what I would say are 10 of the most important games I've played. Now, if you want more specific information on these, the book Game On, made by Dustin Hanson, has a lot of specific information, goes into more detail, and I mostly lifted a bunch of the facts that I mentioned in here from here, so if you want more of that, go read it. This is definitely worth it. It also has some nice lists in there, and goes over a lot more games than I did. So yeah, I'd 100% recommend getting this. For example, did you know that the developers of Halo 2 drank over 24,000 gallons of soda while making the game? How are they doing